Following the clash and fallout between GB News and Mark Stein, we are now hearing more about GB News' censorship guidelines. Okay, yesterday we covered on the channel the clash and divorce between GB News and one of their top presenters, Mark Stein, whose show was very popular, getting good ratings, beating Piers Morgan's show on Talk TV and many other mainstream media channels. They changed his contract to put all the burden on him and his show when it comes to the Ofcom complaints. So if you say something controversial, Mark, and if people complain, then you're going to have to pay the fee yourself, not the channel, which is usually unusual. And then Mark Stein left. Then following that, we're going to talk about GB News a couple of times today and tomorrow, because we are hearing more updates about what they're going to be doing as well, what they've announced. But first, James Freeman actually said, I have it from an inside source that GB News has told its presenters that they are no longer allowed or have permission to talk about the jabs, all the Pfizer stuff and everything else. Initially, obviously, it was hearsay, so we also got in touch with a few of the inside sources that we have and friends at GB News. They also basically said the similar thing, that they've been advised against talking too much about the jabs and things like that, which again, for a lot of people, it comes across as self-censorship or caving into the mainstream media establishment and the whole of the cabal of Ofcom. I understand that they have obviously the pressure of Ofcom in reality, and also the advertisers, because GB News have not been making profit until now. They're making a loss, and they kind of need to attract advertisers. They also need to keep Ofcom happy, but then at the same time try to be rogue and counter media. It doesn't really work that way. If you want to have a TV channel, we can remain on this channel independent. Then you actually had a couple of mainstream media people from GB News, because GB News is mainstream media, defending the channel, saying, well, we're still Ofcom. They defended Ofcom, saying Ofcom is still more flexible and more free than YouTube, for example. I'm not really the fanboy of YouTube. I've had my issues with YouTube, but I can assure you that's not true. The YouTube have some weird, very technical guidelines, but it's not really like that. You can actually be free. You can do whatever you want, mostly. and there's a problem with big tech as well, but YouTube been trying their best to reform. I know that it's not really supposed to be saying, oh, YouTube is not perfect, or any big platform, but you're still more free. You might have some issues with limited and monetization on adverts and all that, but in reality, unless you go against a couple of issues that they are very sensitive about, or when it comes to completely creating lies, then you're fine. You're still more free here than Ofcom. So those who are defending Ofcom, they live in a different world anyway. But we're going to keep you guys posted on these issues. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.